These are two hypercar companies, locked in the most intense engineering rivalry on the planet. And in 2025 and 2026, that rivalry just exploded into something nobody saw coming. On one side, you have Bugatti, the legendary French marque that just lost its corporate backbone when Porsche sold its entire stake in the company. On the other, you have Koenigsegg, a tiny Swedish operation that builds about 35 cars a year, founded by a kid who got inspired by a stop-motion animated movie about a bicycle mechanic who builds a race car. Right now, that tiny Swedish company is winning. Let's start with the corporate earthquake because it sets the stage for everything else. For nearly 3 decades, Bugatti existed under the protective umbrella of the Volkswagen Group. Porsche held a 45% stake in Bugatti Rimac, the joint venture formed in late 2021 that merged Bugatti with mate Rimac's Croatian electric supercar company. It was a comfortable arrangement. Bugatti had deep pockets backing its insane engineering ambitions, and Rimac got access to one of the most prestigious automotive names in history. Then, Porsche's finances fell off a cliff. Operating profit dropped a staggering 93%, collapsing from 5.64 billion euros down to just 410 million. That kind of hemorrhaging forces hard decisions. So Porsche sold its entire 45% stake to a New York-based investment consortium called HOF Capital. Just like that, Bugatti severed its connection to the Volkswagen empire for the first time since the early 2000s revival. Mate Rimac, to his credit, handled it with grace. He publicly thanked Porsche for their role in establishing the joint venture and said the foundations they built now allow Bugatti Rimac to execute faster on its long-term vision. He's 37 years old, running 2 hypercar companies, sitting on an estimated net worth of $4 billion. The man isn't panicking, but there's no getting around it. Bugatti now operates in uncharted corporate waters. While Bugatti navigates this transition, Koenigsegg has been on an absolute tear. Let's talk about the records, because they tell the real story. In June of 2024, factory test driver Marcus Lund strapped into the Jesko Absolute at Örebro Airport in Sweden and completed the 0 to 400 to 0 km/h run in 27.83 seconds. That's 0 to 249 miles per hour and back to a standstill in under 28 seconds. It was staggering. Then Rimac showed up with the Navara R and snatched the record away. An all-wheel drive, 2,107 horsepower, electric hypercar with instant torque from 3 motors. On paper, no combustion car should be able to touch it. Koenigsegg went back to Örebro. August 7, 2025. Same airfield, same driver, same car. 25.21 seconds. They didn't just reclaim the record, they obliterated it, shaving over 2.5 seconds off their own previous time. A rear-wheel drive car with a twin turbocharged 5-liter V8, producing 1,600 horsepower on E85 fuel, weighing just 1,420 kilograms, had beaten the most advanced electric hypercar on Earth in a straight-line acceleration and braking test. Christian von Koenigsegg called the result almost magical. Honestly, it kind of is. This is a classic engineering philosophy clash. Traction versus lightness. Electric instant torque versus mechanical fury. Only half a second separated the two before Koenigsegg's latest run. Then they blew the gap wide open. But Koenigsegg wasn't done. Not even close. In June 2025, they unveiled the Staggering Spear, and the name alone tells you something about this company's soul. The Jesko was named after Christian's father for his 80th birthday. Staggering Spear is the name of the horse his father rode in his final race in 1976. Every car this company builds carries a piece of the family's history. The Spear produces 1,300 horsepower on pump gas, 1625 on E85, it weighs just 3,053 pounds and achieves a perfect 1-to-1 power-to-weight ratio on biofuel. Only 30 will ever be made. Each one costs 3.8 million euros. Within months of its reveal, the Staggering Spear set the fastest production car time at the Goodwood Festival of Speed Hill Climb, clocking 47.14 seconds. Then in November 2025, it posted a 1:24.16 at Laguna Seca, shattering the production car lap record. This isn't a car that's fast in one dimension. It accelerates, it brakes, it corners, and it does all of it better than anything else with a license plate. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because Bugatti isn't sitting still. The prowess, unveiled in June 2024, is Bugatti's answer to everything. It replaces the Chiron and represents the most ambitious Bugatti ever conceived. At its heart sits a naturally aspirated 8.4-liter V16 engine developed by Cosworth, paired with 3 electric motors for a combined output of 1,800 horsepower. 0 to 62 miles per hour in under 2 seconds. 0 to 249 miles per hour in under 25 seconds. 250 units. 3.8 million euros each. Production begins in 2026. Notice that price. 3.8 million euros. The exact same price as the Staggering Spear. These two companies are going head-to-head at the same price point, in the same segment, at the same time. It's almost too perfect. Bugatti still holds cards that shouldn't be ignored. In November 2024, the Mistral set the world record for fastest open-top production car at 453.91 kilometers per hour. 282 miles per hour with no roof. Only 99 were built at 5 million euros each. Say what you want about corporate upheaval, Bugatti still knows how to make stupendously fast cars. But the bigger picture is about trajectory. Koenigsegg isn't just competing at the top anymore, they're expanding. Christian von Koenigsegg has confirmed a new model is coming in 2026 or early 2027. He's exploring the idea of a more accessible supercar, something closer in price to a Porsche 911 or Lotus Emira, with a significantly broader production run. For a company that currently builds 35 cars a year, that would fundamentally transform the business. They've hired Mofid El-Khmiri, the former CEO of Gordon Murray Automotive, to become their new head of production starting April 2026. That's not a hire you make if you're planning to stay small. Meanwhile, the Gemera, Koenigsegg's 4-seat Mega GT with 1,700 horsepower and a $1.7 million starting price, has officially entered production. It's the cheapest Koenigsegg you can buy, and it's sold out. Christian von Koenigsegg himself put it bluntly, "We have nothing to sell," which is kind of good but also annoying, because it's fun to interact with and supply enthusiasts with their dreams. That might be the most telling quote of all. Koenigsegg has more demand than it can physically satisfy. It's breaking records at will. It's expanding its lineup, hiring top-tier leadership, and preparing to scale up, all while remaining independent and family-run. Bugatti, by contrast, is a brand in transition, powerful, prestigious, and technologically brilliant, but now answering to new investors, navigating a post-Porsche identity, and led by a young CEO who must prove that Rimax's vision for the brand can stand on its own. This rivalry between a 31-year-old Swedish boutique and a 115-year-old French icon is no longer just about who builds the fastest car. It's about who defines what a hypercar company looks like in the next decade. Right now, the kid who watched a stop-motion movie about a bicycle mechanic is setting the pace.